Your story matches the comfortably single perfectly. And
Absolutely.
the best way to understand the comfortably single is split energy. So people who don't understand split energy is when part of us wants something and then there's another part of us who doesn't. The example I like to use was one of my clients who in high school, she was cheated on. She was in love with this person. They were going to get married in her head. They were going to have two boys, two girls. She had her whole life planned out with him. And then she gets in one day at school and finds out that he had cheated on her.
Mm.
And of course, that's a big emotional trauma. And our subconscious mind, one of the primary roles of the subconscious is to keep us safe. So the subconscious mind says, whoa, look what happens when you fall in love. Look what happens when you're in a relationship with somebody. Look how dangerous this is. From now on, I'm going to do everything that I can to prevent you from either being in a relationship or fall in love. And the dynamic that that creates is either a self sabotaging pattern where anytime you start to develop that deeper relationship with somebody, you start to do things that mess it up, maybe cause fights, become distant. And it's not a conscious behavior. People don't typically realize that they're doing this. Or the other thing that happens, it's like this energetic wall gets put up where no matter how much time you spend in dating apps or trying to find somebody, it's like nobody's ever showing up. So those are
Mm.
the two most common traits, and that's why it's called the comfortably single, because it's kind of like you described earlier, where you're like, yeah, I'm single and I'm okay, but I think deep down
Yes.
everybody's really looking for that connection.
Yes. Yes. True.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to come from a trauma either. One dominant form of split energy is if I'm in a relationship, I won't be able to do what I want, right? And if you grew up in an environment, let's say, where there was an unhealthy dynamic between your parents, where maybe your father was very controlling and your mom could never leave the house or do what she wanted, well, by observing that as a child, then that expectation becomes true for your own relationships in adulthood, right?
True.
So the way we dig it up is just, hey, it's Nick here. And if you want to watch the full episode of this snippet, you can click the link over here. Or if you'd like to join me on my show and experience your own breakthrough live with me, you can scan the QR code or click on the link in the description to apply.